Yo, what up everyone? So today we once again have an absolute heater in store for you. I spent a lot of time and energy creating this for you, and this is just gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be great. So pretty much today I am going to be showing you the lead generation system I used to generate $32,302 for my agency client in the first 30 days of working with them. And the reason why this is such a random number is because it was originally in euros and I converted it to dollars, etc. blah, 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 blah. But just to showcase you some of the stuff that we did and how crazy this system is, as here you can see some of the calls that we booked for them. And here you can see May 11th, boom, 2 calls. May 12th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls in a day. May 13th, 1 call. May 16th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like we were booking like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls a day using this. And we were also closing them. Like in the first 30 days, normally like a sales cycle for like high ticket deals can be 60 to 90 days. So these calls usually don't convert in 2 months. So this is only what converted in the first month, which like if you understand anything about B2B sales, that's fucking mad. That is an absolute heater. That is a banger. So yeah, pretty much before we get into it, I just want to give you some context. So pretty much this client was a growth marketing agency and they were working with e-commerce stores in Europe. And their ticket size was around 5,000 to 10,000 euros. Plus they did some monthly retainer deals. They were pretty much doing growth marketing, providing different services, SEO ads, CRO, email marketing, product optimizations, and all of these things, funnels, landing pages, all of this great stuff that delivers growth to e-commerce stores. And during the first 30 days, we sent 5,000 cold emails to 3,500 unique prospects. So 3,500 leads contacted, and then the other 1,500 emails were follow-ups. And from those 3,500 prospects, we booked 80 meetings, and 49 of those were qualified. So if you've ever done any cold email, you see that is a pretty crazy of a booking rate. And the 100% is like over 1%. Obviously, that is going to make a lot of money. And I was working as a lead generation agency, helping the client with booking meetings for them through cold email outbound. So if you have never heard about B2B lead generation agencies, pretty much you are just an agency partner that books the meetings through cold email. You run cold email campaigns for them. And then when you book meetings, you give the meetings to the client closes the meetings, and they close sales. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Crazy numbers. Really amazing service delivery. And yeah, I'll just show you how the whole system works. And before we get into the system, in this video, you will see how I got the deal and the deal I had with the client. So I'll show you exactly how I got it, what helped me get the deal, and what kind of a deal structure it was, how I got paid. I'll also use the system I used to generate the leads. So I'll show you exactly how we got the leads. I'll show you how I built the prospect list. So I'll show you how we got the list to send emails to. I'll show you the cold email structure, the cold email scripts, the templates, how many follow-ups, when we were sending them, our subject lines, CTAs, all of that stuff. And I'll also show the test I used to write the cold email sequences. I'll also show you the 2 conversion mechanisms I used to convert replies into sales meetings. So obviously when you're sending cold emails, you're getting a bunch of replies. People are saying, yeah, I am interested. So I'll show you the 2 of the things. And I haven't really talked about them on this channel that much, but they are absolutely fucking fantastic. So I'll show you how I got a lot of sales meetings, because obviously if you're booking 80 meetings from 5,000 emails and 3,500 prospects, obviously there's something crazy going on. There's a crazy conversion mechanism from replies to calls. So I'll show you how I did those things, and I had 2 different things, both really great. And I'll also show you the exact sales process the client used to convert the sales meetings into paying clients. I'll show you step by step what they were doing to close these deals. So who will benefit from this video? 3 different people, or probably someone else as well. But pretty much anyone who's running a B2B lead generation agency and wants to generate better results for their clients and earn more money, that's who is gonna benefit a lot, because I was running a B2B lead generation agency back then, like I'm now. This is also really valuable for anyone who runs a B2B business selling high-ticket services and products to market of at least 2,000 companies. Because if your niche is less than 2,000 companies, then you don't really want to take this approach. But if you have more than 2,000 people you can sell to, you can literally just copy-paste the how we scrape the leads, how we set up the emails, like our infrastructure, how we like our scripts, the sales process, the conversion mechanisms. You can pretty much just copy and paste everything and just implement it into your business and print money. And also this is going to be really valuable for anyone who wants to learn an extremely powerful and predictable system to generate growth for B2B companies in order to increase their earning potential as a freelancer, agency, or employee. So if you just know how the system works and how we can implement it in the companies, no matter if you are a freelancer, like a marketer, or maybe you are an agency, B2B, lead generation agency, growth marketer, growth consultant, whatever. Or maybe you're just an employee. Maybe you work at a B2B company and you are head of sales or chief marketing officer or whatever you might be, CEO. Of course, if you know how to generate a bunch of money for the company is probably going to pay you a bit more than they are paying you now. Or yeah, you're going to be really hard to replace. So the main thing that I just want you to understand, this is going to be valuable for anyone who wants to just possess a crazy skill set and have a skill to print money for B2B companies. If you know how to make money for other businesses, you will never go broke. You will never struggle to get deals or clients or jobs or whatever, So some really powerful stuff, life-changing stuff almost, I would say. So I'm just going to adjust my mic to make sure that it's good before we get into it. So the main thing that I want to first get started on is how I got the deal. So this is going to be like a big thing. Boom. We're going to go through everything step by step. But the first thing we have to understand is how we actually got this deal, or how I got this deal. Because obviously, if you don't get the deal, everything is going to be pretty hard. There's really no service to deliver. So back then, I was doing LinkedIn outbound and cold email. Now I'm more of a just full-on cold email guy, but LinkedIn outbound is also extremely useful. The reason why I just like cold email more now is because it's just simpler to manage, but both work extremely well. So I was running a LinkedIn outbound campaign, and I still do sometimes, but for different purposes. And I was using Expandy.io, and I was pretty much using Expandy.io's smart campaigns. You don't have to make this complex of a campaign, but pretty much how it just works is I set up like a lead list, or I set up like a targeting that I wanted. I wanted to target CEOs and founders and owners of companies in my niche, so marketing technology companies in Nordics. And I was pretty much hitting them up. The automation would automatically visit their profile. If they visited your profile back, and if they had an idea who you are, it would send a connection request. And if they accept the connection request, it would send a message and a follow up, and pretty much super basic like stuff. Like if you've ever sent cold outreach messages, just automatically sending messages to different CEOs and founders, etc. And like I said, I was targeting founders and owners and CEOs of these companies, because they were who I wanted to talk to. And yeah, it was just automatically rolling in the background. I was running cold email, and I was also running LinkedIn outbound at the same time, and just absolutely ripping it. And pretty much the main thing is when I would send this automation would send a message to this CEO. This automation sends a message to the CEO. From my message, if the message is interesting enough, usually what happens is they first look at the message, and then they go to my LinkedIn profile. And on my LinkedIn profile, they see a link to my video sales letter and to my landing page. So, and this is what it looked like, extremely ugly. I had just a headline, and I know this is in Finnish, so it won't really matter to you that much, but it pretty much just says, hey, marketing industry, business, do you want 30 extra sales meetings to your calendar every single month without using a bunch of money on ads, without cold calling or annoying spam marketing campaigns? And then I had a video sales letter, and they would watch that video sales letter, and it would sell them on working with me and what I can do for them, etc. And then if you would scroll down, I had like case studies and testimonials, etc. But I had my VSL. They would go through my VSL, boom, 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 boom. And this prospect, this is like exactly what happened to this specific client who I delivered this stuff to. So they got my message, they read my message, and then they first went to see my VSL. Boom, they see that I'm actually a G. Then they also went to my LinkedIn profile, then they saw my LinkedIn content, and my LinkedIn content was pretty much stuff like this. Once again, it's in Finnish. Back then I was just focusing on doing Finnish content, because I couldn't really speak English, even though my English is perfect right now, but my English was way worse back then. So I was just doing Finnish content, and pretty much here I just had a post saying, hey, this email campaign generated over 200 leads in a month, so warm positive replies. and I broke down how it works, etc. And this type of content is really, really powerful. Like this is the type of content that you want to do on LinkedIn, especially if you run an agency. And you pretty much just prove your competence. You just show that you know what you're talking about. Hey, I ran this campaign. These were the results. This is what we did. And of course, you don't have to give away all of your secret sauce, but just enough for the prospect and for the potential client to see that you actually know what you're talking about. So I was doing a bunch of these posts, just showing my successful campaigns, just showing what kind of scripts we use, just showing a bunch of screenshots and proof, and posting testimonials and case studies. So if someone gets a message from me and then they go to my LinkedIn profile, they see that, hey, this guy is active here. He has a bunch of people commenting. So I had like 13 comments, 83 likes, because it was really valuable stuff. People who go to read the comments, oh, this guy is getting really great results. They read my post, they see that I'm getting really good results, and I'm writing really well, that I'm acting, that I'm a real person. You're just showing them that you're a real person who can get results. And then the last thing, of course, they would go to my LinkedIn profile, which was also really, really optimized. And still is. I don't know why I'm talking in like it was in the past. My LinkedIn profile is still extremely optimized, of course. So they go to my LinkedIn profile and they see there that, hey, this guy is actually absolutely crushing it. It would have links to my VSLs, to my case studies, to my content. And it would have testimonials, references, all of that stuff. So someone would read through my LinkedIn profile and they would see that, hey, this guy is an actual person. He knows what he's talking about. He's getting results. He has a great offer. There's a bunch of like stuff that I can read from him. So they can read my post. They can read my sales letters and VSLs and landing pages, all of these things. So a combination of all of these three things this is nurturing. So like obviously, this is not necessary for all prospects. Some people, they just receive a message from you. You send them a message, hey, John, I can get you more deals. And they are like, okay, boom, let's hop on a call. But for more sophisticated buyers who are more skeptical, naturally more skeptical, or they just need more information, they like to do their research. And you want to make sure if they do their research that something good stuff pops up. Like if they go to their profile or if they Google your name, they need to see a landing page from you with a good video sales letter. And if they go to your LinkedIn profile, they need to see that you're posting content. And if they read your content, they need to see from your content that you're getting results and that you're an expert and that you know what you're doing. And then the last thing, if they go check your LinkedIn profile, they need to see that you're a real person, real achievements, real clients, real testimonials, etc. And of course, if you're just starting out, you're not going to have maybe case studies, etc. But just do your best. Just show that you know what you're talking about, you know? And yeah, this is called nurturing. So maybe if I didn't have these things, they would see my message and they would think, it's pretty interesting, but not interesting enough. And then they go and try to do some research and they can't find anything about me. So then they're like, fucking never mind. This dude is not real. Or like they don't really get interested enough and they wouldn't reply. But in this case, all of these assets were there. They went through it. They saw that I actually know what I'm doing. So they replied to my message. And once again, this is in Finnish, but I'll just quickly translate this to you. And this is a horrible, horrible message. This was the second message. And this was a horrible message. I'm not really proud of my outbound always, because this was last year, a long time ago. But pretty much, here I just said, hey, I just wanted to send you a message, so this would be a bit more personal. My name is Leevi. I post on LinkedIn about lead gen and growth. My business helps other companies get more leads and more meetings without advertising or cold calling. For example, I just got one of my clients over 300 warm leads and 25 meetings in a month. But that's all about me. What are you doing or how is it going for you? And then this prospect replied, hey, tell me more about this thing. Tell me more about your lead generation method. Because obviously they got this message and they're like, really interesting. They went through all of this stuff. They saw that, okay, it's getting crazy results. This guy's absolutely killing it. He's absolutely getting banger results. He can help us. So then they obviously were like really interested. And this is pretty much a positive reply. So when you get a reply and the prospect shows interest, that's positive reply, and those replies get booked into meetings. And actually here, because my nurturing stuff, my sales assets, this stuff had really, really sold the prospect. Like the prospect was really, really excited to work with me. They're like fucking hyped already before they had ever talked to me. The prospect called me. He got sold by all of these things. He got sold that like I'm really, really good at what I do. So he called me because I got the message and I didn't reply to it immediately. I maybe replied like, or like maybe it sent out and he replied, and then I didn't check my LinkedIn for the day. So he called me. I was like, yo, you sent me a message on LinkedIn about this Legion stuff. I just wanted to hear more about this. So then pretty much what I just did on this call is we just conducted a discovery call. So in this call on the phone, I just talked with the prospect. So if I can actually help them, what they're doing, how many deals are they getting, what they're selling, what is their niche, basic discovery stuff. What are their goals? What is their current situation? Pretty much just tried to map out if I can actually help them or not. And if I can actually, or if I want to actually work with them or not, you know? And then I wanted to work with them, so I went ahead and I scheduled a demo call. So I told the prospect, hey, this sounds absolutely fantastic. I think that I can for sure help you guys out. So let's hop on a new 30-minute meeting next Tuesday, and I'll show you how everything works. I'll show you the price, I'll show you the method, I'll show you all of these things, you know? And then we scheduled a demo call, and in the demo call, I closed the prospect. So they just asked some of questions, and because they were already really, really sold by this stuff, and really sold by my VSL and all of these things, it was a really easy close. And here I closed the prospect on $2,700 plus 12.5% of revenue generated. And normally normally I don't really do revenue share deals with completely new clients. Like if I don't know that their sales process is like really, really solid, or that they really know what they're doing, then I don't do revenue share deals. But because I saw that they're really, really good, I saw that their deals are really good, they had great case studies, and they had a great sales process, and their numbers were looking great, etc. I obviously wanted to get a piece of the pie, so I made a revenue share deal because I knew that I could fucking crush it for them, you know? So $2,700 plus 12.5% of revenue generated was what I was getting paid. Yeah. So then from that, after I closed the deal, there's 3 things that happened. So I had to build the list. So obviously, like when you're sending cold emails, you need people to send the emails to, you know, you can't just send them to nobody. So I had to build the list of who we are going to send emails to. I had to do an onboarding call, and I had to build the sending infrastructure. So if you have done cold email, you know that you need like a cold email sending setup to send these emails, and we are going to run through that in a second. But the first thing that we are going to cover is list building. So pretty much the list building process was extremely simple, like it always is. So the first thing is defining ICP metrics in demo, if possible. So sometimes the prospect has such like a simple niche, or like there's nothing special about the niche, like that you can like just ask it for them. And sometimes like not always companies know who they want to sell to, but this company knew really well who is their perfect client, and they had already worked with this client profile and all of these things. So I just asked them what is criteria, and pretty much the criteria that I just figured out is, okay, what is their geographical location, where are they based in? So then what is their revenue range? Obviously you can never track the perfect revenue range, but I asked what is their revenue range, what technologies do they use? So these were e-commerce companies, so I just asked what kind of e-commerce, like do they use Shopify, do they use WooCommerce, do they use this, or do they use that, or do they do, you know? I asked for what technologies they use and what titles do they need to talk to so they can actually close deals. So I got this information already in the demo call. If they are not 100% sure of who they should work with, you want to get this information on the onboarding call, but in this scenario, they already knew. So before the onboarding call, I could already like get a head start, because you obviously want to like, if you want to have a satisfied client and get really good results, you need to move fast, you need to deliver stuff fast, you can't be lazy. So I immediately started building a list before the onboarding call even happened. So I got the ICP, boom, and I had the answers to this. And then I identified best scraping method. So really commonly, like you see, I scraped domain through store leads. If you're targeting e-commerce companies, store leads is the way to go. I think like it's probably the best. There's also a few other ones, but store leads is cheap. It's like $300 a month. There's a lot of e-commerce data. There's really great filters. So there's like really no point in using anything else, in the beginning at least. So I used store leads. I went to store leads. I put in their filters and scraped a list of domains. I'm gonna even show you, if you go to store leads, boom, 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 and let's go here. I'm gonna get a million cold emails after I leak my fucking whole thing. So pretty much on store leads, pretty much what you do is you just select what technologies, maximum searches, fucking hell, use my maximum searches for the month. But pretty much what you do is you just select what technologies you want to use. So boom, WooCommerce, Shopify, and then you come here and you you can use all of these things, like what is the region, what is their country, what is their category. So are they apparel, are they food and drink, are they beauty and fitness, whatever. And then you can export this list and you can get all of their domains and all of their data. The main thing about store leads is, if you ever used it, or if you're ever planning to use it, the main thing is you can't get the email addresses. You will get the domains. So for example, you will get amazon.com, but you won't get Jeff Bezos or jeff@amazon.com. You won't get Jeff Bezos's email. So you need to enrich it through a freelancer or different tools like Clay, etc. So what I did is I messaged a freelancer to enrich the domains. So pretty much I just went to Fiverr. I found someone who does like lead generation enrichment, like, you know, super simple. You can go there and it costs like, I was paying, for the first list, I paid, I think, $70 for 100 verified leads. And now I'm paying $50 per 100 verified leads because I bought a lot of leads from them. So they obviously give me a bit of a discount. We bought probably like hundreds of thousands of leads through them. Worked with them for like 2 years. So yeah, super simple. They did their own work. So they went ham and they like did all of this like manually. They had a crazy construction process. They built the list and then the freelancer sent me a message. Hey, verify complete. There are 100% valid leads, 900 leads, and then another list that I had to check. So I took these lists and I verified them using millionverifier.com, which is a great verifier. And then I got a list of leads that had the company name, it had the domain, it had the name, it had the email, and they were all verified. So I was ready to rip some emails. And then for the sending infrastructure, this was also super simple. Pretty much I just bought 5 domains with prefixes, and pretty much what prefixes means is, let's say your own domain is called agencygrowth.com. Let's say you have like a crazy domain that you've gotten. Then pretty much when you're getting cold email domains, you just add some kind of prefix there. So you could do getagencygrowth.com, and you could do tryagencygrowth.com or cagencygrowth.com, or, you know, because if you haven't sent cold emails ever, you pretty much the main thing you just need to remember is, if this is your main domain, this is the main domain, your main email, this is connected to your landing page, you don't want to use this for cold emails, because if it gets blacklisted or if it starts going to spam because Google algorithm triggers it, then obviously it's going to make your life a bit harder, because like you're trying to communicate with your clients and your emails are going to spam and all this crazy stuff. So you pretty much always want to get like burner emails that you can lose no matter what. So I bought 5 domains and I added 2 Google users per domain. So I had 10 email inboxes, Google Workspace inboxes, 10 Google inboxes, you know. And then I just went through basic DMARC, DKIM, SPF setup. If you don't know how to do this, you can just go on YouTube and Google it. And there's also videos on my channel on how to do this. It's extremely simple. You literally just copy paste a few things. It takes like 3 minutes to do, and then you set up forwarding the main landing page. So once again, if you have gotten, for example, a domain, getagencygrowth.com for your cold emails, then you want to forward this to growth.com, to the main landing page. So if your website or landing page is here, you want it to forward there, because let's say you send an email to someone and they're like, who is this person sending me emails from getagencygrowth.com email? They Google this and you want it to automatically show this. So you just set up really basic domain forwarding. Once again, it takes like 2 minutes. You can Google it if you don't know how to do it, but it is extremely simple. So then what I did is I connected domains to the sending tool. Install.ai, boom, I just went in there, plugged in my domains, and I started warm up. I just clicked the button, and amazing. And once again, if you have not sent cold emails before, you might be confused by like, what is a sending tool, what is warm up? So sending tool is pretty much just a software that you use that automatically sends your emails. So in the sending tool, you just write your script, you put in your lead list, and then it automatically sends the emails. So you take this list that has all the emails, and you put it in the sending tool, and then you write what you want to send to them, and then it automatically sends to them using these new Google users that you have just gotten. And then pretty much warming up is just putting the new emails, because they're brand new emails. If you buy a brand new email and you immediately start sending 30, 40, 50 emails a day from one email account that was just created yesterday, it's going to look a bit suspicious. So Google might blacklist it, or these emails might start going to spam because it looks like a spam email. So what you do is you put it on the warm-up, and warm-up is pretty much just like this engagement pool where these new emails in the warm-up pool send emails to each other automatically, and then it looks legit and they look like an actual human is using it. So you're tricking the algorithms, you're tricking the robots, you're beating the system, escaping the matrix. So I put them in the warm-up, and that's pretty much it. So to recap, I closed the client, boom, I started building a list because I already knew their ICP, boom, I scraped the list, verified the list. I had 3,500 leads in total. And then I also got 10 new email accounts, and I put them into warm-up after I had done all the technical setups, etc. Boom. And that's pretty much what you do. And that's like just easy. That takes like an hour to do. If you're doing it for the first time, it might take 2 hours. If you are doing it for the 10th time like I was, it takes like 30 minutes to do. So the real money is made here. So I had an onboarding call, and in this onboarding call, pretty much I just clarified goals, like, okay, what is our goals for this partnership? I also clarified expectations, like what are realistic expectations? Because sometimes you start working with a client and they just want to like 10x their revenue in a month. And like, obviously that's like pretty hard to do unless they're making like $1 a month. But if they are a respectable size company, then obviously sometimes they might have unrealistic expectations. So you just clarify the expectations once again. Of course, the key here is that in the demo call, you give them realistic expectations. You can't like tell them that, yeah, we will 10x your revenue. And then in the onboarding call, tell them, we can't, we can't 10x your revenue. So pretty much here, you just want to remind them of the realistic expectations that you have given them on the demo call. So you need to always be realistic. You can never lie or overpromise to the clients, because it's just going to bite you in the ass. But yeah, I reminded them of clarified the goals. I reminded them of the expectations and also the KPIs. Like, how do we know we are successful? How many meetings do we need to book a month to know we are successful? How much revenue we need to generate in the next 6 months to know we are successful, etc. So pretty much just clarified KPIs that we are aiming for. So then we defined the offer, the benefits and guarantees. So obviously I already knew what they're selling at this point, because you will get to know it in the discovery call. But you just want to go through to make sure that you're not missing anything. Like, okay, John, if you had 3 minutes to explain or 1 minute to explain to your perfect client what you do, what would you say? What are the benefits of working with you? What painful things can the client stop doing when they're working with you? What kind of results are they getting? Do they have any guarantees? And yeah, pretty much all of these things. How are you better than your competition? What is unique about your delivery mechanism, etc. Yeah. So I defined the offer, wrote everything down on a Google document, and then I listed down their case studies and references, of course, as well. So I pretty much just asked, okay, what kind of results have you gotten? Do you have any case studies? Do you have any references? What kind of companies have you worked with? Do you have video testimonials? Do you have proof of these results, etc.? So I just once again collected all of their case studies and references in this document that I will use when I write the cold email campaigns that you will see in a second. Then what I did, I set up Slack and agreed on the timeline. So you always want to make sure that you can communicate with your clients in a super non-frictionless way. Client communication should be easy. And the key to really, really great client relationships, satisfied client, and long retention and high LTVs is client communication. Like, if you just tell the client every single day what you're doing, even if you're underperforming in the beginning, or even if things are not going to according to the plan, as long as you're just being upfront with the client, you're sending them a message every single day. Hey, John, today we did this. Tomorrow we're going to do that. This is the results that we're getting right now. This is what's working. This is what's not working. This is the problem that we ran into. They see that you are actively doing your best to get them really great results. If you don't send them any messages, if you don't communicate with the client, they don't know if you're even doing anything. Like, are they even working? Do they even exist? And if the client doesn't know if you're even working or not, that obviously is really bad for the working relationship, So you always want to be really active with your communication. A lot of people, if their campaign isn't working as well as they thought it would, or it's delivering a little bit under KPIs, the natural reaction is not send them messages, just hide away, just curl up into a ball and cry in the corner. But that is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Always communicate with the client. No matter if the campaign is working, if the campaign isn't working, no matter what's happening, always send the client messages every single day. And that is how you get really good client satisfaction, really good client relationships, and the clients are gonna stay with you for a longer time, way longer time, if you are just upfront with them. And you have calls with them every single week or every 2 weeks, and yeah, you just do everything correctly like that. So then we go into the actual email writing process. So this is where most of the money is made. Like this, setting up the infrastructure, this is pretty basic. This is always the same. And scraping the lead list, like, yeah, here you can make a difference by scraping a better lead list. But in a lot of cases, when you're scraping the first lead list for the client, this is also really basic because you're just trying to grasp a feel of the campaigns. So this is really where the money is made. So the writing process. So everyone has their own different writing process. Mine is really simple, and I've used the same writing process for like 3 years and still use to this date. So pretty much the first thing that I always do is I just write down assets and angles for the campaign. So I open up a document and I write as much as I can about this possible this coming campaign. So I always write all the benefits of the offer, like the smallest benefits, like they can stop doing something super small. I still write it, like they will get this small benefit. I write everything. They can stop using unproductive sales rep. They can stop cold calling, or actually those are negative offer moves, but benefits like they will generate more leads, they will get more reach, they will get more engagement, they will get more traffic to the landing page, they will close more clients, they will generate more revenue, they will generate more profit, they will have higher profit margins, more sales cycles, higher closing rate because better lead quality. Like I write all the benefits of the offer. So obviously this client was an e-commerce growth marketing agency. So I just wrote down what is the benefit that these e-commerce stores will get. So I just wrote down like better profit margins, lower CPAs, lower CPCs, lower this, lower that, better LTVs, better AOVs, higher profits. I just wrote down all the benefits that the client will get. Then also one thing that is really big is negatives that the offer removes. And I see people doing this, but they don't do this enough or focus on this enough. This is fucking huge. Like obviously, when someone buys your service or when someone buys your client service, they can stop doing like something in a lot of cases. So for example, if someone bought my client's service, the e-commerce growth marketing stuff, they could stop managing their own ads. They could stop doing their SEO. They could stop optimizing their email marketing. They could stop sending their own email broadcast. They could stop doing like a million different things. And yeah, a lot of people always focus on the benefits, like what can someone get? But it is equally, if not even more important of what they can stop doing. Because humans are pretty much like people make buying decisions based on motivation. Like something motivates them, they do something, So for example, if you get a really good email, it might motivate you to do something. So humans are motivated by two things. They are motivated by potential gain. You can gain something. And they're also motivated by the avoidance of something negative in your life. And it has been proven like a million times. There have been like million studies about it, that if there is an equal, or if there is a gain and an equal avoidance of something negative, the avoiding the negative thing is way bigger driver of motivation. If someone tells you that, hey, you can buy or you can get $1,000 if you do this, and if someone tells you that, hey, if you don't do this, you will lose $1,000. Losing $1,000 is way more bigger motivation than potentially gaining $1,000. So always focus on what the client can stop doing. Like for example, if you're a lead generation agency, like, hey, you can stop cold calling, you can stop managing your own things, you can stop managing your sales reps. Like even if nothing else changes, even if they get zero other benefits, even if everything stays the same, if you can remove something painful or something negative out of their life, that is a huge value proposition for you. So always focus on this. Humans are extremely motivated by avoiding something negative. Like also, if you think about it, like let's say you go to the Apple store and you buy a new iPhone, you go and buy a new iPhone. what is the reason why you usually buy a new iPhone? Like, yeah, like maybe 10%, 5% of the market, they are like tech geeks and they go buy the newest iPhone every single time because of the new chip or the new thing. Like they will buy it because of the technology. But 90% of the market who buy new iPhones, they buy the iPhone because their old iPhone is causing them pain and suffering. The memory is filled, the screen is cracked, the battery life is super bad, the phone is slow, and then that gets them to act and buy the phone. They never like see an ad for the new iPhone and they have a perfectly working iPhone, everything is absolutely perfect, and they see, damn, they added the new M3ZD Giga chip to this iPhone. I absolutely need to get this chip. No, that that doesn't really motivate people. What motivates them is, damn, my phone is broken again, this is lagging, this is slow, again I run out of battery life, my speakers are absolutely fucked, my screen is cracked, glass is falling all over the place, I need to go buy a new phone. And it's the same thing when you're selling B2B stuff. People are of course motivated by the benefit. Hey, they can grow my company, but if they're really struggling every single day, let's say they're really struggling with their ads, they like are spending 3 hours a day with their ads for their e-commerce store, and someone hits them up, hey, you don't have to touch your ads anymore. If they're really struggling with it, boom, of course they're gonna go for it. So really focus also on the negatives the offer removes. This is really golden stuff, and not many people focus on this, which is crazy. You are losing money if you're not focusing on this and testing this. Then I of course also wrote down all the case studies. So what results has the client gotten? What references do they have? So what clients have they worked with? And also what like their unique mechanism, like what is unique about their method of delivering these results? This is also really good, especially in more sophisticated and ever markets. And if you want to learn more about unique mechanisms, go read Eugene Schwartz's book, Breakthrough Advertising. It's really great, talks about market sophistication and explains like the use of unique mechanism in different market sophistication or market maturity levels. So yeah, I wrote everything down, and then every single time what I do is I always wait 24 hours. And the reason why you wait 24 hours is because otherwise there is a risk that you are acting on impulse. You're just like fucking hyped, I signed a new client, you're just running campaigns, boom, these are ready, boom, these are ready. And you might be fatigued, you might be tired, you might be something, even though those are pretty much the same thing. You always wait 24 hours and then you look at these things with a fresh pair of eyes. Okay, what did I write down tomorrow? And usually when you do this, you will see, okay, this is shit, I missed this is not actually a benefit, this is not actually relevant, this is not actually something that I should use. And you're just way smarter when you have slept on it. Then I go and I write 5 email variations. So I write 5 different email campaigns, and pretty much the structure that I always use is I do 3 emails. When I'm starting a new campaign, I do 3 different emails. So back to back. And the first email that I always do is intro email. And in this case, I use the subject line quick question. I almost always use this, or quick question, or just question, or a question for company name, or a question for first name, whatever it might be. Subject line quick question. And hey, first name, fucking hell, I destroyed my beautiful board. Hey, first name, hey John, saw that you are the CEO at XYZ company and thought this would be interesting to you. We help e-commerce stores or e-commerce companies in Europe get an extra so whatever your offer might be, and this is just for like cold email template, but the same thing, you just replace the benefit, grow an extra 20 to 30% or grow an extra 100% in the next 6 months or less without having to manage your ads or whatever it might be, using unique mechanism. So you just pretty much replace this with whatever you might use for the client. So we help. What is their niche? We help e-commerce stores in Europe grow an extra 50 to 100% in 6 months or less without having to manage their own ads, their emails, or spending tons of time doing SEO using XYZ unique mechanism. Do you mind if I send more information about this? And then your client's name. So obviously you don't write your own name and your own address, etc. You write your client's details here if you're doing a campaign for your clients. And then PS, I always like to add like a guarantee here or something really interesting that really tips the scale. Then I always after this is sent to the prospects, the second email goes after 48 hours, and this is the first follow-up, and the subject line is blank because that way they thread together. They show up on the same email thread. Hey, first name, did you receive the email I sent you about taking on new clients? I sent 2 days ago. So once again, you just adapt this to your like the campaign that you're doing. So for example, if you're doing growth for e-commerce stores, hey, first man, did you receive the email that I sent you about growing your store? I sent it 2 days ago. And then once again, you wait not 48 hours, but you wait, this is a mistake, 5 days. I can't calculate, it's like 100 something hours. But you wait 5 days and then the last email goes, and this is called the breakup email. Once again, subject line blank. Hey, first name, I tried reaching out to you a few days ago about benefit, about growing your store in the coming months, but I assume you are busy. If at any point you'd be interested in how we could get you extra customers or increase your profit margins or get you cheaper ads or increase your LTV, whatever is relevant for the niche to company in the coming months for a small performance fee or whatever the pricing model is, feel free to reach out back to me. And this is a killer. P.S. Is there someone else I'd reach out to about this at company? So sometimes you email, let's say, a busy CEO in a company, and the email is like, or the CEO is just super busy. They are not responsible for the growth of the store or growth of the company or for the sales process, whatever you're selling. But there is someone else who would be perfect for this. So then when you ask, hey, by the way, is there someone else that is responsible for this? They might, reach out to Marketing Mark. He actually is in charge of growing our store, or he's in charge of our ads, or he's in charge of our sales, whatever. So this is also a really great way to get intros. And then let's say they say that, hey, reach out to Mark. Then you just email Mark saying, hey, your CEO, John, or whatever title it was, your owner, Mike, just told me that I should talk to you about this and have a call with you about this. We pretty much reached out to Mike and told him that we can help you grow the store. You get the point. So this is always the email flows that I use. Intro email, boom. Always just a straight offer. We help this niche in this location get this benefit without doing this painful thing in this time frame. Do you want to hear more? Then a quick follow-up. Hey, did you get my email 2 days ago? And then after 5 days, hey, it seems like you're not interested on this anymore. Let me know if at any point you want to get this benefit. P.S. Is there someone else that is responsible for this, and who should I should reach out to? So this is always the structure that I use. Every single time. I have been using this structure for like 2 years. You write them, and once again, you wait 24 hours. You don't want to get emotional. You don't want to operate based on intention, because sometimes you write these and you're like, fuck, these are bangers. And then you just like send them. And then after you have sent them, a few days later, you're like, oh, why would I send that? Like, that was absolutely terrible. So pretty much you wait 24 hours and you select your 3 favorite variations, 3 that you think are going to perform the best. So you write 5 and you select the best 3. And then you have a review call with the client. So you hop on a call with the client and you just run them through the emails. Hey, these are the 3 emails that we're going to send. This is the reason why we send it. Once again, you're just transparent with the client. You're just educating them. You're showing them that you actually know your shit. And this way the client actually has trust in you. And sometimes if you go really aggressive with your messaging, sometimes you go really aggressive, really hardcore, or something is just out of brand, the client might not approve your messaging. Here, like the main nuance that you have to understand here is, if the client tells you that, I think we should write a longer email, or I think we should use this CTA, don't listen to them on the actual strategical approach of the email campaigns. Like, you are the expert. That's why they hired you, or whatever you're doing. But sometimes they might tell, hey, we don't want to use this corporate language, or we don't want to sound this, or we don't want to use this word. Can we change it around? Sometimes they're just small brand things that they want to change because people care about their brand. So if that's the case, you just collect feedback on what they want to change. And then you go and you write them all again if you like truly fucked up. Or if it was just small things, then you just like go here, boom. And you just show them, hey, these are the tweaks that I made. Is that fine? And then also what you do in this review call, no matter if they approve it or not, one really, really good thing. Once again, this is a little bit optional. If you're just starting out, it might be too much for you to manage, but I fucking love this. I think this is a really, really big key to making campaigns work. Is you ask for potential objections to emails, because obviously if the client is familiar with selling their offer, they probably know what kind of objections people usually say. For example, for lead gen, someone might say, hey, we don't really want to do cold email because of the GDPR laws, or we already use cold email, or it's not great for our brand, whatever. And for e-commerce stores, it might be that, hey, we are already tried ads, or our product doesn't work with ads, or we don't want to seem too salesy, whatever. There's always, every single niche and every single offer has like standard 5 to 10 objections that they get a lot. So you ask your client, hey, what are these objections that you are usually getting in sales calls? And you list objections down, you just put them in a Google sheet, boom, all of the objections. And then you ask the client, hey, in the next 1 or 2 days, could you write an answer to these objections? If they know what they're doing, they are gonna give you like great answers. Like if someone says this, just say this, and then they understand it. And then you just take those answers and you format those answers to email replies. So you format them into a bit of in a way like, let's say you're sending emails and someone gives you an objection from the list, boom, you just go and you take the email and you just copy paste the email and reply to the objection and you get a meeting, you know? But yeah, if the client approves the messaging, you go ahead and you launch the campaigns. And after you've launched the campaigns, pretty much what is going to start happening is the client will, or the campaigns will start getting positive replies. So your emails are starting to get positive replies. People are saying, hey, we are interested. Some people are going to say, no, we are not interested. Just like, don't pay attention to those. But you're going to get, based on how good your cold email campaigns are, how good your scripts are, how good your lead lists are, how good the offer is, how good the list is, all of these things, you're going to start getting more or less positive replies. People are going to start saying, hey, this is really interesting to me. I would love to learn more, or I would love to hear more. So pretty much you do something called inbox management. And pretty much inbox management, you just have like a basic structure for it. I have like a really basic SOP for it that shows like exactly how to do this. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to show you, wait, how can I open this link here? Boom. So pretty much this is what it looks like. It is just a step-by-step instructions on how to do this. So you open Notion and you do this and you open the inboxes, boom, boom, boom. Is there new replies that are unread? Open the newest unread reply. Is it an automated reply? If it is, close the thing. Is it positive reply? Boom, boom. And pretty much it's always the same. Like I have like a really easily structured, like if this, then that type of process, you know? And it like pretty much goes over everything, all the follow-ups. Super simple, but you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to have this kind of a structure for it. It can be something way, way, way simpler. But yeah, so pretty much you do is you just manage the inboxes. Like for example, let's say you send an email or you open up the email inbox and there is a new reply and it is unread. So then you open that unread reply and it is not an automated reply and it is a reply showing interest. And the prospect matches the client criteria, and it is a clear yes to having a meeting, then and then you just go and you book the meeting, you know? It's always the same. This just looks super complex. It is actually way simpler, but the reason why this looks so complex is because I'm just like obsessed with processes, and this is for an SOP. So all of our clients use this, all of our inbox managers use this, like this has been used to like fucking book tens of thousands of meetings in the past few years. So obviously we have had a lot of time to optimize this, but it doesn't have to be this extreme. And there's actually, I have a bunch of videos on my channel where I show you how to do this exactly in the right way. But pretty much you just do this, and then I like to have like reply templates. Like if this, then use this template. If that, then use this template, and you just reply accordingly. So for example, you might open the inbox and there is an objection and they are saying that, hey, we don't want to do this because it damages our brand. Then you have already written an objection handler with the client and you just send it to them. And then they reply back, okay, it makes sense, let's have a meeting. And then you just book the meeting, you know? So then when you get positive replies, you convert positive replies to calls. And pretty much a prospect says, hey, I really want to hear more about this. And then you just send them a message. Hey, great. Let's have a call about this next Thursday, 10 a.m. Boom, schedule it in. And that's where the client's responsibility starts. So now you have done your job. And this is pretty much as far as you go. Of course, if you're closing for them, then you are closing for them. But usually if you run a B2B lead generation agency, this is where responsibility ends. And in this deal, this is where my responsibility ended. So this is the two different delivery mechanisms or conversion mechanisms that I use. So obviously, when someone says that they're interested in working with you, you can do pretty much whatever the fuck you want. You can book them into a 30-minute meeting, 60-minute meeting, 15-minute meeting, etc. The more interesting the conversion mechanism is, the more meetings you're going to book. And we had two different strategies we used to book meetings. First thing that we did is we booked 15-minute phone calls, actual phone calls, not online Zoom meetings for 30 minutes. The reason with this was, in our niche, there was a lot of competition. So we didn't want to put the prospect through friction, like logging into Zoom, taking 30 minutes, scheduling all these things. We just asked them, hey, is it fine if I call you next week and we have a 15-minute conversation over the phone? And the prospect says, yeah, sure. And then you just ask, okay, is it fine if I call on Tuesday? They say, yes. Okay, is it fine if I call on 10 a.m.? Actually call 11 a.m. Okay, boom. And then you just send them a calendar invite and you call them 11 a.m. And then you do a discovery call. Hey, John, I just want to call you, see if we can actually help you, ask you a few questions about your business. And if we can help you, then we can hop on a demo call and I'll show you how everything works. Boom, great. And then you have the disco. Works extremely well because obviously it is way less friction and takes way less energy for a prospect to talk 15 minutes on the phone. Someone calls you on the phone, boom, 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 instead of you opening your laptop and going to a meeting, etc. You can still do that, and depending a bit on the niche and the offer, there's a bunch of nuance to it. You can still do it, and if you're just starting out, it might be the move that you want to make. But this is what we did in this scenario because we knew there's a lot of competition in this niche. These people are getting a lot of offers and a lot of emails, and there's a lot of saturation, quote unquote saturation. So that's why we just wanted to take the easiest route possible. Hey, is it fine if I call you and we have a quick conversation over the phone? Boom, of course. Everyone says yes if it's a good offer. And then the second thing we did that worked super well is we offered them a free growth marketing audit on their company. And pretty much we sent them a message. Hey, John, we have created this 47-point growth audit for your company that shows exactly what you could be doing better and what you're already doing well and what are the changes that you need to make. And I guarantee if you just implement these things, you're going to see 20 to 30% growth in your business in the next few months. We have already done this with this and this and this company, and these are the results that they got. So is it fine if I show you this audit next Tuesday, 10 a.m., And we would send them this message. And then if they said, yes, please, I want to see the growth audit. Obviously, we didn't make a growth audit for everyone. What we did is we would automatically send the company info. Fuck, I'm just messing this up. We would automatically send the company info to a virtual assistant. And then the virtual assistant performs the audit and fills a report based on the SOP. So they would have a really clear process. Go to here, look at this metric, put it here, look at this metric, put it here, look at this metric, and they had like a Google sheet that they would fill. And then pretty much we could just get like 20 audits created in a day if necessary. And it's super cheap. And then when the virtual assistant has created the audit in a Google sheet, they just attach it to the CRM. So then the person who is going to the call with the prospect to deal with the audit, they just quickly before the call, they open the audit, they see what it looks like, and then they open the call. Okay, John, here's the audit that we performed for you. Boom, boom, boom. This is what you could be doing better. This is what you could be doing worse, etc., etc., etc. And then after, of course, they have given the audit, and the prospect is like, damn, this is really valuable. This is fucking sick. I can't believe you did this for free. Then they just say, hey, we have like, these are only 47 points. We usually optimize for 300 points or 350 different things. So would you like to see how we could optimize all of those things for you and how we could do all of this for you if we work together? And then the prospect, if they like the audit and if they have gotten value from it, usually they would say, yes, of course I would want to see. They're like, bro, like these guys showed me 47 things that I could do better or that I'm already doing well. Of course, I'm going to see the other 253. And of course, I want them to do it because they are clearly experts at what they're doing. So yes, 100%. Show me the money, So then pretty much what happens, if the prospect is qualified, if they actually can work with them, they book a demo call. And if they go to the call and the prospect is like, yeah, like for example, they are too small or they don't want to grow or they don't have the budget or whatever the fuck it might be, you just disqualify them and you stop the sales process. Like if a prospect isn't qualified, just don't talk to them. There's no point. So they booked a demo call. Okay, John, like here pretty much 15-minute discovery call. They have the 15-minute conversation. Okay, amazing. It really sounds that we could help you a lot and we could deliver you this and this and this result. If you want, I can show you how everything works and what are our prices, what are our guarantees and all of these things. Do you have time for a 60-minute demo call next Tuesday, 10 a.m. or 2 p.m.? Boom. And then here with the audit angle, if we delivered them an audit, pretty much it would just be like they show the audit, so you could do this differently, change your ads here, do this for SEO, do this and this and this and this. This is what you're missing. You could be making more money if you did this. And hey, these are only 47 things. We actually do 300 things and we can actually do this whole thing for you. So do you want to see how it works? Yes. Boom. Do you have time for a 60-minute call next Tuesday, 10 a.m. or 2 p.m.? I'll show you how everything works. Boom. You schedule in a demo call and then the demo call, The sales process that they use in the demo call is really great one. And this is if anyone has ever followed Nick Kosmin, or how, like my great friend Jack says, Nick Kosman. Nick Kosmin from Sales.io, he created this really good sales process back in the day, OG Spio days. So this is pretty much what they use. This works extremely well. Obviously Nick's old stuff is really good. Not that sure about his new stuff, but his old stuff is really good and I really trust him. I've gotten personally mentored by him. I have paid him tens of thousands of dollars to learn his stuff. So this is the sales process that they used. Pretty much you first, when someone books in the call, you send them a message, you set expectations for the call, you send them a video sales letter, send them case studies, send them a personalized video. Then morning of the sales call, you confirm the call. So you just call them or send them a message, hey, are we still up for the call? The prospect says yes. And then 10 minutes or 1 minute before the call, you send them a message, hey, we have the call in 10 minutes. Then the prospect shows up. If they don't, you send a reschedule link, but if the prospect shows up, you get on the Zoom call, you start with video on, then you shut it off. You start the introduction, you set the pace, you get control, you gather information using qualification questions, you acknowledge their situation, ask permission to explain thesis, you give a quick overview of the thesis and your value proposition, big claim, and you use sales deck for this in most cases. And you show them case studies, you show them proof, you give them backstory, you walk them through the thesis, the mechanism, etc. The prospect buys in the thesis. If they don't, you do it again, boom, boom, boom. You introduce the features, the vehicle on how to do it. The prospect buys in the vehicle, and then you go in the close. Like give the offer, give the price, you stack the feature, you give them the price anchor, you reiterate case studies, successful and unsuccessful stories. You give an action plan and articulate specific end state. So really simple. This is what we're gonna do. Boom, 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 and then you're gonna get this, and then you just close and you give a cool-off period and guarantees and drop the price and better terms and all of these things. And then when you have closed the prospect, you do all the basic things. You collect the payment, you sign the contracts, you add them to nurture campaigns, you build personal rapport, you get the payment method on file, etc. A really, really, really great sales process. I really like this process. I've used it myself a ton. A lot of my clients have used it. It just makes money. And this is from, like I said, from Nick Kosmin. This is not created by me. This is a sales process created by Nick Kosmin from Spio years and years and years ago when he was still grinding that stuff. Now he's on a different vibe. But yeah, that's pretty much the sales process they use. They just pretty much run the prospect through this really logical flow of closing. Every single time it was the same thing. They had a script for it. They first got their current situation. They showed them the case studies. Hey, this is what we have done in the past. This is our background story. Hey, these are our thesis or mechanism. We do it using X, Y, Z. Does this make sense? The prospect says yes. Okay, amazing. So our service looks like this. Does this make sense? Yes, amazing. Okay, this is the price. This is how much it would normally cost, but this is how much you're getting it for now. These are all the results we have gotten, and these are the 5 things we're going to do. And then after we've done all of these 5 things, you're going to be having this much revenue, and your profit margin is going to be this, and your store growth is this, etc. Does that action plan make sense? No. Okay, what do you want to change in the action plan? This would make more sense. Okay, boom. Does the action plan now make sense? Yes, it does. Amazing. Do you want to do it? No. Okay, no worries. If you do it right now, you will get this and you will get that. Boom, boom, boom. And basic closing things, basic looping things, handling objections, giving guarantees, giving cool-off periods, answering questions, offering better terms, and then pretty much just going the war with the prospect. And then when the prospect finally closes, you just confirm the information and etc. Really good stuff on this one. So yeah, they use the sales process. They close the deal. Fucking hell. And after they have closed the deal, I get paid 12.5% like our deal. So if they close a 10K deal, I get paid $1,250 for that. And yeah, this is pretty much how we generated them I'll have to check, $32,302 in the first 30 days of working with them. So like I said, usually if you're selling something high ticket, usually it takes like 60 to 90 days to close deals. So to get that much money in the first 30 days is obviously fucking fantastic. So if you run a lead generation agency, you can just use this process and just copy paste everything that I just showed you and do this for your clients, and it's gonna fucking print. They're gonna make a bunch of money. You're gonna get great case studies. If you run your own agency, you can just copy paste and or own B2B company, B2B service, whatever. You can just copy paste this protocol into your own business and make a bunch of money. And just overall, pretty much, if you just do this, no matter what you do it for, who you do it for, as long as you don't fuck around with it, you're gonna make a bunch of money. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe. Boom.